Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Plat. Just want to do a video showing you how you can get your very own large monsters, like this one right here that we are fighting. As you can see, it actually is kind of like a baby mama papa bear situation, isn't it? Too small, too big, just right. But we're taking the too big today. So, how did I find the skeleton? First, let's see if I've got what it takes to actually recruit him to my party. This will be my very first large monster, but I think I've sussed out how you could find these ones, basically. So my understanding was that you could find them in the open world, but I couldn't find them. And I kept looking around, but I eventually, boom, we did find one. And now, why would you, first, I guess, if you don't know what a large monster is, why would you want one? Well, they have different, um, they have different passives. Basically, they start with 3 passives instead of 1, and they're different. Ultra Crafty Confuser is not always, this is not the one that they're always going to get, but makes it easier to stun the enemy. I think that's what they normally get. But Tactical Commander performs 2 actions in a row. The number of actions is not affected if you don't issue specific orders. Slightly lowers his attribute. So he always does 2 actions. Now, there are versions that do 2, sometimes 3 actions. Things like that. So there are better versions of this depending on the monster, things like that. And also he gets Parting Gift, which I don't actually know what that one is. Inflicts damage back on all enemies when a killer blow is received. The amount inflicted is proportional to the excess damage suffered after the monster's HP is reduced to 0. So if he gets dealt a lot of excess damage, then he will keep going. But yeah, basically he takes 2 slots, but he gets 2 actions. And that can be very, very good, or it could be not so good if you don't kind of have it built because he takes an extra slot. Less versatility, but he gets more stats in general from being large, but then he loses a little bit of it from the Tactical Commander. But how do we get it? So, yeah, go to the depot. We're not interested in you. So, what we're going to do here is you basically need to run around and just find it. It should be pretty obvious when you do find one. I mean, they are large. But so my understanding, based off my experimentation here, the reason I'm in this area is because this is the very first area besides the intro where I defeated the big bad monster, right? If we come to the laboratory and we go to, it's called like Lumbering Lizard, I think, but it looks like a forest dragon to me from Dragon Quest Tact. But I fought it and I beat it. And so after I fought it and I beat it, because I was like, all right, well, I beat the big bad, right? I beat the zone area, so things are easier to recruit. But I figured maybe if I beat that thing, it'll cause them to start spawning. And that does seem to be, if it's not a requirement, it at least seems to increase the chances. So I would recommend absolutely killing that thing first, as it might be a prerequisite. It's not 100% clear to me, but I found instantly my first one after doing that. Like, this guy might be large right here. Let's take a look. I mean, he's pretty big, but we'll see, because this is about the exact same size as the other one I got, but this one was only considered small. So I think once you find the really, really big, the big sprite, it gives you a chance to find a large when you run around. And I think you do need to defeat the big bad. It doesn't seem like you need to kill, or you don't need to scout him. You just need to kill him. And now, once you have a large monster, I know it's a little save scummy, but you might want to, when you're synthesizing new monsters, you could either, this guy is definitely not big enough. You could synthesize, if you do 2 large monsters, I think that they are always going to be considered, it's always going to make a large monster at the end of it, right? If you do 1 large monster, I don't think you're guaranteed, but I think you could probably save scum it because it's like a % chance to get a large out of it. Maybe there's like, based on the character's sprite, like you can see I have some really small monsters and I have some big monsters that aren't considered large. So maybe if you do that, you have a increased chance of, like if you do bigger monsters, even if they're not considered large, maybe that increases the chance. Maybe there's like, it's possible that there's like a threshold, like an invisible stat, like a size of sprite kind of deal going on that you have to pass before you are considered a large monster. Like, that guy's not big enough. There's no way. They get huge. I want to see if I can find another one out in the wild for the video, because obviously I found the one in the intro when I started recording, because I was just trying to figure this out, and I've been running into big sprites and I wasn't able to get it, but I just found a sprite after killing the big boy. Right here, actually. That one's huge, right? I mean, you can see him from a million miles away. I mean, that guy's massive. Come on. And there we go. We got another large one. So let's see if we could scout him. So it might be luck. It might be the situation. I'm still looking and trying to figure out the details of it. But I do think that, you know what we're going to do? I want to capture him, so I'll have 2 large ones. in my thing. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a... So the way it works for scouting, right, is it's based off your wisdom and your attack. That's what it sounds like, basically. You're going to defend. Can everyone defend? Does everyone have that stat? You do. Lowers defense. I don't actually know if that helps. Do you have... Go ahead and give him a Katox. We'll take a deep breath. I don't want to kill him. So we're just going to use our stuff to get our wisdom up. And hopefully this will increase our odds. We'll throw some meat at him too. Wow, double miss. This guy's real hard. All right, now we're going to go ahead and go item. Go ahead and throw a good old piece of smoked sirloin at him. Yeah. And then we'll try to scout him again. Default 3%, not too much. Oh, man. All right, I don't think we're going to get the second one, but you can see you can get it just from running around, which is awesome. So go ahead and let me know if you have more information than this, because I'm actually not... This is still a little mysterious to me. I'm sure JP has it all figured out and they know exactly what's going on. But I honestly don't. But I am starting to suss it out, right? It seems like if you went around and you could run into a monster, once you have the big bad, or not the big bad. The big bad is what you do to scout monsters, but like the local boss, it seems like you will be able to find large versions of the monsters, although it seems to be a % chance once you find a big enough sprite, or it is just kind of hard to tell. It's like, oh, that's huge, but is it huge enough to be a large sprite? That I don't know. Let's go try to fuse these guys really quick. So if you fuse 2 large monsters, you're guaranteed to get a large, is my understanding from what I've read online. And if you do 1 large, I don't think you're guaranteed, but I think that there is still a good chance. So let's go ahead and save. I would love to just fuse a large with one of my favorite monsters, like a lump wizard, and just have a large lump wizard. Oh, baby. That's the dream. So let's come over here. Oh, they're going to be too low of a level. Wah, wah. All right, well, we could do it with, we could just like look hypothetically and see if, you know what's interesting is, yeah, it does show them all small. I wonder if like, because I have a small version of a lot of these things, and you can see it shows small for all of these. I wonder if I have like a big version like I do like with the lump wizard. Like he's pretty big. It seems like I might guarantee that makes them all small. Oh, but look at, they actually have bigger portraits. That's actually a really fun way of doing it. Let's go ahead and favorite these guys. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out later. But yeah, there's definitely a way to get large monsters. I don't think you could synthesize them. I've found those really, really big slimes in the starting zone that are considered small. I've caught 4 of them. I've bred them all together, and they still keep ending up as just big slimes. Like, I think it must be on the upper edge, like the top, how big of a slime could be without being considered large, because they don't seem to be getting any bigger at that point. So I don't think you could synthesize without finding at least something large in the wild. And then once you find something large in the wild, some save scumming and some moving of stats around, you should be able to get other things large. But yeah, let's figure it out together. Let me know. I do know we can catch them out in the wild now. So this is semi a guide. Ha! All right. Much love for platypuses per platypus. See you next time.